Hello, I'm here to present selected issues and problems, case studies in aquatic resource management, coastal and marine. So let me introduce myself. My name is Maria Patricia B. Ilagan, and I am from the School of Environmental Science and Management in the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. I'm taking graduate studies. I'm taking masters. So here's the first study. Will small marine protected areas work? The case of small-sized NPAs in southern Iloilo, Philippines. These are the authors and their respective schools and colleges. So we start off with what is a marine protected area. Marine protected areas are one of the management options to improve fisheries through habitat protection and giving the opportunity for mature fish to reproduce before being captured. So NPAs are small-sized and community-based. So the successful NPAs are in Sumilan Island and Apo Island. Okay, so the Philippines have a lot of legislations for marine protected areas and marine conservation and protection. Examples are these laws, Republic Act 7160, that's Local Government Code of 1991. It gives the opportunity for the management and coastal marine resources that is 15 kilometers offshore to the local government units. Next is the Republic Act 10654, that is the Philippine Fisheries Code. This allocates the jurisdictional responsibilities over fisheries between the cities and municipalities through the legal concept of municipal waters. Um, RA 7586 is the National Integrated Protected Area System. This defines the processes in establishing marine protected areas. Okay, so this is the study site. Okay, so this is the municipality of San Joaquin in southern Iloilo. So there are three sampling sites. That's Lawigan, Ikadlub Marine Sanctuary, Kataan Marine Sanctuary, Tiolas Marine Sanctuary. Their method is fish visual census, macroinvertebrate survey, reef substrate characterization, and benthic life form cover. So basically, what they found out is despite the size of the MPA, the results of the biological assessment suggest that there is a positive change in the fisheries and biodiversity of the three MPA sites in just 4 years after they were established. There is a need to revisit the design and optimal scale of the MPAs to be really effective. There's also a need to consider the fish behavior in its design. So that is their findings. Okay, next is the Rehabilitating Mangrove Ecosystem Services, a case study on the relative benefits of abandoned pond reversion from Panay Island, Philippines. Here are the authors of the study and their respective colleges and universities. Okay, so just a very brief introduction. Mangroves for climate change mitigation and adaptation. So it is the findings of this study have these implications for coastal zone management in Asia in the face of climate change. So what they wanted to do was to assess carbon stocks and coastal protection potential of rehabilitated low intertidal seafront and mid to upper intertidal abandoned or leased fish pond areas against reference natural mangroves. Okay, so there are ecosystem services for mangrove areas such as food, fuel, nursery habitat, recreation, and this is also used for coastal protection. So rehabilitation is also used as a management tool. Here is the study site in Panay Island, Philippines. That's Bakawan Eco Park in Busuang, Iloilo. Ermita Dumangas, a sea-facing pond in Nabitasan, Leganes, and a sea-facing abandoned fish pond in Dumangas Municipality. Okay, so their method for field data collection is vegetation structure, SRTM vegetation biomass modeling, carbon stocks, and site-level carbon storage. For ecosystem services quantification, the vegetation carbon stocks and sediment carbon stocks were um, obtained. And lastly, site-level coastal protection. So their findings, the municipality-specific case study, revealed that overlap may exist between areas of high rehabilitation potential for climate change mitigation and adaptation goals and low competing opportunity costs, with 96.7% of the identified wide sea-facing abandoned fish ponds currently in breach of lease agreements on public lands. The results may have implications regarding reverted abandoned fish pond management for high carbon stocks. So, due to large sizes and appropriate site conditions, targeted abandoned fish pond reversions to former mangrove was found to be favorable for enhancing climate change mitigation and adaptation in the coastal zone. These findings have implications for coastal zone management in Asia in the face of climate change. The last study I'm going to present is the assessment of fish communities in a Mediterranean marine protected area. So, can a seasonal no-take zone provide effective protection? So, these are the authors and their respective universities and colleges. Okay, so the efficacy of a Mediterranean marine protected area, that is the National Marine Park of Zakynthos in the Ionian Sea in Greece, that implements a seasonal no-take zone as part of its management scheme. So the data was used to examine the effects of protection level and habitat type on community parameters, trophic structure, and functional diversity of fish populations that occupy the upper sublittoral zone. Okay, so this is the study site, the Mediterranean Marine Protected Area, the National Marine Park of Zakynthos NMPZ, Ionian Sea in Greece. So they wanted to examine the effects of protection level and habitat type on community parameters, trophic structures, and functional diversity of fish in the upper sublittoral zone. So their method was an underwater visual sensors, general spatial fishing, boating, habitat data, and also the functional diversity, trait selection criteria, and functional diversity of fish. So their findings on the effects of fish community parameters, the effects of functional diversity, and the effects of trophic structure, and the effects of fish assemblage structures. So basically, their results did not provide clear patterns for a reserve effect and does not support their initial hypothesis that the currently implemented protection scheme is effective in its parallel conservation goal to protect alongside with the protection of a certain fish, that is C. caretta. Fisheries related ecological benefits to targeted fish species. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can find me. My username is always tishibotishi, and you can email me at nbilagan@up.edu. Here are the sources, and I also added the DOI, just in case you want to read up on these studies.